stepping out there still doesn't seem why I'm over here, then I'm here, I'm all over this damn lane. I can tell you exactly why. Because if you don't get enough block clearance, what you do is you shorten this next step, you come out here, you drop in here, you never push this all the way out. And so what you're doing, you're picking this foot up, so it's gonna have you running like this, so you're gonna start staggering all over the place. Sweep and take your time. Push, open up. Instead of trying to go for quickness, go for power and distance. When you start well, you bam, 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 you're all over there. It's a mixture of your frequency along with your stride length. You got a combination of both. You're trying to move so fast that you don't even give yourself to complete your limbs. There's nothing really wrong with it. You're not completing your limbs. Let's put it this way. You're so fucking gifted, your gift is working against you now. Set. Hup. That was much better. Well, it's much better. See, what you got to do is just get your timing back. You're trying to sprint before your timing is back. And that's why you're all over the place, because you're missing the ground. Set. Hup. That's not bad. Now, I want you to go back there again, do the same thing, except just pick your feet up in that position. See, you're on the edge. You're right there. It ain't just you backing up. Much better. I need you to do one more thing. I saw something. We haven't been here in a long time. What happens is that you get far away and you have an assumption of what you're supposed to be doing. The key is to actually feel what you're doing. To think about it is a thought in itself. That's an action. That means you have to sit still and analyze. To do is put everything in motion. Let yourself free, let your limbs just freely move and have the feeling of the angles. That's what practice is about. Yeah, it's all right. I'm glad we back, because this is when we're strong. We take nothing for granted. We're just going right back down to the basics and tear this baby apart, put it back together, and we got a brand new operating. Good job today, good work.
Tomorrow, you say?
In your mind, when you're in the blocks, you can't be sitting down in the blocks waiting for the gun to sound. Now, you hear people say anticipate, you hear people say guess the gun. I don't know which one is true, but the reality is when you get up into your set position, you know that the next thing you hear is gonna release you. But you're not waiting for this thing to go, oh, the gun, oh, now I move. It's like anything is gonna release you. Now we're at about 5 meters. At this stage, somebody may be ahead of you, you may be ahead of the field. It doesn't matter. Regardless of what anybody else in any other lane does, you're gonna stick to your script because you can't control what's going on in those lanes. So at this stage, your head's still down. We've only gone about 7 meters so far. Your head's still down, but at this point, you're starting to lift a lot better with your knees, and your arms are coming up. Head is still down. If you look at the videotape of us, at this stage, we haven't even begun to run yet. About 15 meters. Now you start to bring your head up from way down on the ground, and now it starts to come up, almost like a plane going down the runway. And now it's time to pull back on that yoke, because now you got to get up into your running, because now you're at about 25 to 30 meters. But you don't want to come up so far that you over-rotate and run the rest of the race back here. You want to make sure that you have that constant body lean, because everything has to be going that way towards the finish line. At this stage, now you can get up. This is the most fun part of the race, because this is the point at which you get to accelerate the top speed. So now you're at 30 meters. This is the part in which you do your real running. This is the point at which you're going to try to separate from the field, put everybody who's in front of you, behind you, anybody who's behind you, they have to stay there. This is about 60 meters into the race. At this stage, you should have the lead if you've done anything correctly. Of course, if you're running with some of us, well, you might be a little behind, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. Even if you have somebody in front of you at this point, a lot of 100-meter races are won and lost in the last 5, 10 meters. We're in the last 15 meters now. All you can do at this stage is what we call hold what you've got. And that means technique, arms coming up, knees coming up, and you're relaxed. The best example of it is to watch the 99 Seville final. Bruni Surin was out, Maurice came and just relaxed his way right past him while Bruni started to tighten up. 99, 100 meters, and you're there. If you've done it right, you should have won.
This is my baby. I love this race.
Yo, I just don't understand. Lately, it seems like...
In the 200, I think there's a lot of room for correction if you make mistakes. But I think one of the best races that I've ever had in life was in Seville at World Championships. I had a good reaction, but I did have a little bit of a stumble. And for me, reaction time is natural. In the 200, it's all about conservation of energy. I think you need to know how to distribute your energy very well, and that starts right here at the start. So you react to the gun, you're staying low, you're keeping your body position low, staying close to the turn. I think a lot of people end up in the middle of the lane or towards the outside of the lane, and for me it's I'm very consistent in being very close to the inside lane and staying low, keeping your body low. And then there's a point that I call, and John and I, my coach, call the sweet spot.
I just don't understand.
On this track is interesting. It's about at the point where you have the international zone for the relay. And at that point is the point where you feel like you want to lift and you're going to come off the turn and set yourself up to come off the turn. Take a deep breath, bring your hips up under you.
My style, my life, my blood.
Say bye-bye to everybody. You come off the turn.
My watch, my rings, my chain.
Because you've been running continuous straights on the turn, your body is already in the position it needs to be in. And as long as you're in that position, you can come off the turn in good form, raised, running high, running tall, bouncing off the track, but moving in that direction in a linear direction. And you keep strong because once you get to 150, it's all over. At that point, it's all about maintaining good form and maintaining the speed that you have, because there's absolutely no more acceleration.
You don't stop. Someone's gonna find your ass dead. Someone's gonna poison your food.
So if we're here at like 150, this is it. This is the part where you're like, okay, let me take another deep breath and hold on to it. Keep your arms in the right position. Fight the feeling of a complete breakdown. And when you're in really good shape, you don't even really notice it. You can maintain and keep smooth. Like I felt like in Seville, I didn't feel like I was breaking down. I just felt like, okay, I'm not accelerating anymore, but I can maintain this speed and come all the way through to the end. 190, if you're in the lead, obviously it's easy, but when you're not, you really have to maintain, because people really want to lean early, and I don't think that that's a good idea because you lose speed faster. But when you get to the finish, make sure you put that lean in, and hopefully you're number one.